next on our list is Supergroup, right? So remember, these chaps are involved with fleet management, supply chain logistics and car dealerships. They've also got a nice business in Australia. Rowan has followed them closely. Of course, they did have a very bad start to the century, which was when they nearly went insolvent. But since then, they've done exceptionally well over the last 6 to 7 years. Market cap 11 billion rand. Not currently paying dividends. I'm not quite sure why. Rowan can tell us. They never have since they came out of that experience. Price to earnings ratio is pretty normal though, of 13.34. Any reason they don't pay dividends? What's that about?
Well, they have been doing significant share buybacks. I think till recently the share price has obviously appreciated to a level maybe that they see it as less attractive, but they're still in quite a strong acquisitive growth phase. And talking about a capital allocation, I guess they feel they can allocate the capital well and deliver good returns, so rather keep it internally and get those returns.
Well, on that note, the management team, Peter Mountford at the helm, has announced an acquisition opportunity in Germany, which is, or Europe, like Time Inc. or
That's
Time,
good.
something like that.
In Time, yes.
In Time, that's what
right.
it is. And they're going to do a rights issue in order to fund this. So it's the opposite of a dividend, right? You're being asked to put some money in.
That's right, yeah. So they have been growing by acquisition. They did the Alan Ford acquisition. That was 13 Ford dealerships in the UK.
Yep.
That was about R1 billion. And I guess they came across this opportunity. My understanding is they were looking at it for a little while, and I guess they feel just they don't want to overgear the business. I think they're quite conservative given their history, and so looking to raise a little bit of capital just to keep the numbers good.
I haven't looked at the detail, but is going to be one of these sort of typical 10% of existing cap type deal with a discount, rights issue, end shares, all of that stuff?
Yes, they actually haven't. They're going to be also reporting soon, and they said off the back of results, then they will also announce the full terms of the rights issue. It's about 900 million rand. That's really to fund, I guess, the equity portion of the acquisition. They're acquiring 75% of the business in partnership with management, who are taking the other 25.
Okay, sounds good. The Australian operations I mentioned there, that's done really well, and it's listed in Australia, right? Is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
SG Group or SG Fleet.
That's right, yeah. So it has done particularly well, and I guess that shows you where they had partnered with management previously. There was also some private equity players involved. Supergroup currently owns about 53%. You can follow that share price, and we look at, if you exclude the market value of their shareholding in that and look at Supergroup, the rump, the rest of the business, there was a point where it looked like Supergroup was quite cheap. The share price was sold down quite a bit off the back of this acquisition. You've seen it recover very nicely.
Well, let's look at the chart. What Rowan's referring to, a little bit of a bounce down, a little bit of a bounce back up again. That's quite common though, because remember, we know the market's had a nice uptick in recent days. And yes, sometimes the rights issue does lead to a bit of a sell-off because people sort of game the system. They think, well, I'll go short the stock and I'll bid them back in the rights process, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's all irrelevant. As far as it goes, looks good, adding value. You like this one? You hot on it?
Yes, hot.
Yeah, me too. Good sec.